So it's 10:38 at night, and I just got back from our class, or the class I was teaching. Let me scoot down. We didn't have a late start because a lot of times we're not very strict and we're very laid back on different things. So people kind of show up when they usually before 8, like 7:30. There's usually people who have jobs and everything or live far away. But yeah, the class tonight was pretty nice. Yesterday I felt like it was a lot more interaction when I did the spellstones because I like barely started talking about it, and then all of a sudden people were like, questions, 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 questions. This one, there seemed to be a little bit of a wall holding people back when I was talking about various herbs. I think it was because it was the healing aspect of things. People were either thinking hard on what they wanted. I know one person had a lot of questions on not a lot, but a couple questions on certain herbs. And I was honest and I didn't know how to answer them because I didn't know what these herbs were specifically used for because I didn't have all my books. I can't know every single herb. And I don't work with them constantly on a daily basis because of my lack of, when I used to make stuff constantly, I kind of like had my herbs down. I was like, yeah, I got this and this and this and this and this and this. And so for that. But now that I haven't been working with them too much for a while because I haven't been making too much product, except for myself, the knowledge kind of a little bit slipped away. I need a refresher, which is this courses that I'm teaching now are kind of acting as a refresher for me and also helping me to share some knowledge that I have. So here's the little 2 covered in powder. Because you can't really see it all that well. But that's the Poppets we made tonight. I need to dust off the flour because it looks pretty awful with all that on there. But I was trying to fill in some cracks. But I made mine for helping with my body kind of health issues. About trying to lose weight for health reasons and everything. Not to look better or anything. Even though I do look better when I was thinner. When I originally lost 70 pounds, I was like, damn, I've never looked this good in my life. I've gained a lot of it back, though. Not all of it, thank God. Because then I would have no clothes to wear if I gained it all back. But ever since I left my job and everything, it has been harder to keep the weight off. But anyway, so our class is on healing poppets, and usually like the stone making class, there were so many questions. Like I would have had a whole bunch of things to talk about right now, but this one there wasn't too much. There's a couple people who, like, one person had a walnut allergy, so we couldn't use walnut powder, and people weren't really sure what herbs they wanted to use. Whereas the stone one, when we had a prosperity, everybody wanted like every single herb in there, and I was like, okay, 9 maximum, because I tend to bring some that people can choose from, and I try to ask them to choose a odd number because I think even numbers are kind of unlucky in a sense. So I think we chose mint, some snakeskin for like transformation and during the healing process, and then a happiness incense powder sort of thing they mixed in, and got the last one, eucalyptus. So we were trying to cut off old icky stuff to start anew and to heal ourselves. So I'm gonna let this air dry. I was going to etch some runes into it, but I wasn't sure what I wanted to do then, so I might use something to paint that with. Maybe take a beet and use the juices from that because I don't really want to use any chemical-based paint or anything. You could if you wanted to, but yeah, I didn't. So some people were carving. Let's have it on my little plate. Some people had carved different symbols into here, and I was talking about how you could place a stone here if you have heart problems. Or we were joking with one person because there was a broken pen, so the spring was there. And it was funny because we had just been talking about her leg issues and how she has to hold her leg up because she had blood clots in it, and she still has problems. I was like, look, it's your leg. And I was joking that we should cut the leg and put the spring in because she always has to constantly put it up to help swelling and everything go down with other issues she has. One person took a bear cookie cutter because we had to get cookie cutters last minute because I forgot about this class. And so she's like, well, my friend has an ear issue. He's just the ear surgery. This is perfect. I'll take the bear. She removed one of the ears and left the other one. And I'm like, okay, cool. And she was talking about the padded ear being the one he had surgery on. And she made the other one have like little hair and made it herself. This one I took the gingerbread cookie cutter and then I kind of lengthened it out a little bit to visualize being thinner for healthy purposes. To become healthier, and so I can deal with other things as well through that. Next week we're going to be doing Scandinavian yarn poppets, which is what I actually opened the Wall and Spindle with, my one pagan Etsy store, and that should be cool because we're going to do it based on color magic. Every week has a theme, and so color magic is going to be the theme of that night, since I want to teach it. I don't want every single class to be based around herbs and what herbs we're putting in something, so I wanted to figure out a little something else to do with that. But yeah, so that was okay. It was nice, and I like sold a couple oils and did different things like that. And I have people who want to buy more oils from me next week. I feel like everybody had a headache today, and that was what everybody kind of came in there tired of a headache. I know I had a headache, and so I could have been projecting my feelings outwards, and maybe that's what kind of held a block. But I still think that everybody had a good time. And I like this because it's so simple to do. Like, everybody can do this, but then you have to think about different ways. You have to get creative with it, what you can do with these poppets and everything. And that's kind of why I want to teach these courses, basic courses on super simple things that you can do in your magic practices all the time, but people aren't thinking about it, or they're not thinking of all the different ways they can use these poppets and other things that we're crafting. So that's basically why I teach all these little basic craft classes. And I like hands-on classes. I do not like to sit there and lecture like I do in some of these videos. I like to just get to the point. I didn't even have notes this time because I used to use notes all the time, and it would cause me a lot of anxiety trying to go through these notes, make sure it covered everything, because I was afraid that people would think, oh, she left this out, or she didn't explain this well enough. And I'm like, the natural flow is so much better. So I think that's how I'm going to do in the rest of my classes. If I forget something, somebody can ask a question, or they can come back to it later, or I will send an email out, something like that. But yeah, so tonight was nice. And I got some money to pay my bills too, which out of it, I don't like to charge much for my classes. I kind of want to just charge to cover cost of supplies. But the coven that I'm working with for this, I'm not part of the coven. Well, I'm like working with them. They Circle of the Silver Veil, because I've known most of the members for a while. They're paying for a lot of the supplies and stuff because I'm coming in to teach, and they think that I should charge more for these classes, but I was like, no, I want to learn and work with you guys too, but also and make a little bit of money because I'm spending my time and all that stuff, and I also don't have a job, so it helps. So my classes are usually $5, and I'm doing a free lecture for one of her classes, and I'm hoping to turn that into a class later if I can get more ways to turn it into a hands-on class. That way I'm not sitting there and lecturing like I'm going to be in this one. So yeah, I'm very tired, and I'm going to go to bed. So thank you for watching.